Welcome back, everyone. So thanks for sending in those sources about using social media for learning English. Yeah. Specifically from the English Speak podcast.
Yeah, it's a really interesting angle, isn't it?
It is a topic that definitely needs a closer look.
Absolutely. How we take these platforms we use every day, scrolling,
Right.
and actually turn them into proper learning tools, sometimes without even thinking about it or seeing the full potential there.
Exactly. So that's kind of the mission for this deep dive, right?
Mm-hmm.
To really pull out some practical and hopefully engaging ways you can use the social media you're probably already on
Yeah, day-to-day stuff.
to actually boost your English skills, get a
Yeah.
clearer picture, maybe spark a few aha moments
Hopefully.
without feeling overwhelmed. We know time is precious, so insightful but also efficient.
And it's worth remembering just the sheer amount of English content out there.
Oh, yeah.
Billions of posts, videos, comments. It's a huge resource just sitting there.
Okay, let's dive in then. Platforms. First one they mentioned, YouTube. The podcast called it a free university for language learners. Big claim.
It is, but, it kind of holds up. It's not just lessons, right? It's pronunciation guides, real conversations, vlogs on every topic imaginable.
Right.
The diversity is key. And the visual element, seeing things demonstrated or acted out, that really helps comprehension.
And subtitles. Simple feature, but huge for learners. How can people really, max that out?
Yeah, definitely don't just read along passively. Pause the video if there's a new word, jot it down, see how it's used.
This text.
Exactly. Context is everything. And there are even browser tools now that let you click subtitles for definitions. Super interactive.
Okay, and this idea they had creating playlists based on your hobbies. Cooking, tech, travel, whatever.
Yeah, this is smart because you're learning English through stuff you actually care about.
Right.
So it doesn't feel like studying. It's more like, oh, I'm watching this cool gaming video
Yeah.
that just happens to be in English.
And you pick up vocabulary relevant to your interests. Makes sense.
It's way more natural, kind of immersion, but, tailored to you.
Okay, next up. Instagram. The podcast tagged this one for quick learning. How does that work?
Well, it's all about bite-sized content, isn't it? Those English tips pages.
Oh, yeah. See those all the time.
Daily phrases, idioms, quick grammar points. It's like a little dose of English every day. Very manageable.
And visual, too. Infographics for vocab and stuff.
Yeah, the visuals really help lock things in memory, linking the word to an image.
What about Reels? Those short videos. Under a minute. Good for listening.
Definitely. Because they're short, you can watch them again and again.
Right, without getting bored or lost.
Exactly. And you can focus on intonation, how things are actually said. The podcast mentions saving them. Great idea.
Like a mobile flashcard deck.
Pretty much.
Yep.
Watch them on your commute, waiting in line. Perfect for those little moments.
Okay, now TikTok. They called it underrated for language learning. That might surprise some people.
I think it does, yeah. People think entertainment, dancing.
Mostly.
But the format, short, catchy videos, is actually pretty good for listening practice, especially those role plays.
Okay, like real-life conversations.
Yeah. Ordering coffee at the airport, job interviews, you hear different accents, natural speech patterns.
And captions are usually there, too.
Often, yeah. Makes it easier to follow along.
They also mentioned shadowing practice. Watching, repeating, mimicking. How do you do that well?
So it's not just about saying the words. You got to try and copy the rhythm, the ups and downs of the voice.
The intonation.
Right, even the pauses. How does it sound? How does it feel to say it like that? It's active imitation, really good for fluency and pronunciation.
Moving on to Facebook. Feels a bit, maybe, older school, but the groups?
The groups are the key thing there, yeah. English learning groups.
What's the main benefit?
Community, I'd say. You can ask questions like their example, say versus tell.
Right, always a tricky one.
And you get answers from different people, different perspectives, plus you share resources, practice writing posts or comments. It's supportive.
Okay. And X, Twitter. What's the angle there? Short, sharp sentences.
Exactly. It's good for learning modern, everyday English, how people talk now.
Not textbook English.
Not at all. You follow writers, comedians, educators. You see wordplay, jokes, slang, current expressions, all in these quick bursts.
So across all these different platforms, the real thread is learning how English is actually used.
That's it, in different situations, different styles. And then they pulled together some overarching strategies, daily habits.
Right, like changing your phone language to English. Simple, but effective.
I think so. It's passive immersion, isn't it? You're constantly seeing and using English for everyday tasks, settings, notifications, apps. It all adds up.
And being intentional about who you follow, like only follow English creators on certain platforms.
Yeah, basically curating your feed,
Yeah.
creating your own little English bubble online.
So you're just naturally exposed to it more often.
Exactly. And hopefully it's content you find interesting anyway.
Taking the next step,
Yeah.
actually commenting in English. Why is that important?
Because it shifts you from just consuming to producing.
Active use.
Right. You have to think, form sentences, use the vocab, apply the grammar. Even short comments build confidence. Little conversations.
And I like the idea of creating your own content. Short stuff, Instagram stories, reels, not aiming for perfection, just practicing speaking.
Yeah, that's a big leap for some, but so valuable. You're retrieving language, putting it together on the fly, overcoming that hesitation to speak.
It's okay if it's not perfect.
Absolutely not. The mistakes are part of learning. It's about the practice.
They also shared some success stories, didn't they? Real people.
Yeah, like someone learning from makeup tutorials on YouTube.
Okay.
Or a learner from Brazil getting fluent in slang and humor from meme pages.
Wow. So what do these stories really show us?
They show that enjoyment is key. If you're genuinely interested in the content,
You'll stick with it.
you'll stick with it and you'll learn faster. It proves immersion doesn't just mean moving country. You can create it online.
Okay, really practical stuff. Now, they did address a listener question from Priya in India about feeling nervous speaking English on social media.
Ah, yes, that's a common feeling.
What was the core advice there?
Well, starting small is a big one. Don't jump into live videos straight away.
Right.
Maybe write captions first. Then try recording short voice notes just for yourself. Build up gradually.
Safe environments first.
Yeah, exactly. And remembering everyone starts somewhere. The online English learning community, it's usually pretty supportive, actually. People want to help.
That's a good point.
Yep.
And that any progress, even tiny steps, is still progress.
Totally. Language learning isn't linear. There are good days, bad days. Celebrate the small wins. Using social media like this is just a smart, accessible way to get started or keep going.
So, if we boil it all down,
Yeah.
the main takeaway for our listeners about using social media for English.
I think it's about intentionality. Your scrolling time can be learning time.
If you choose to make it so.
Right. If you actively engage with English content you like, build in small habits. It can genuinely make a difference to your skills.
It really does highlight how valuable it is just making English part of your sort of digital wallpaper.
Precisely. Turning something routine into something productive.
Okay, so here's something to think about then for everyone listening. What's maybe one small thing, one social media habit you could tweak or add to your routine starting, I don't know, today or tomorrow?
Yeah.
And just consider what new bits of English, what nuances or slang or just ways of phrasing things might you discover if you start looking at your feeds through that language learning lens.